Now, when I speak of silence, I do not merely refer to the absence of sound, though that is certainly a part of it. No, the silence I speak of is far more profound, far more transformative. It is the silence of the mind, the stillness of the soul, the quiet that precedes all creation. In this world of constant noise and chatter, where every moment seems filled with the clamor of thoughts and the din of external stimuli, we have forgotten the power that lies in silence. We have forgotten that it is in the depths of silence that we connect with our true selves, with the divine within us, with the very source of all creation. Consider for a moment the words of Scripture, "Be still and know that I am God." These words are not a mere suggestion, my dear friends. They are a command, the key to unlocking the infinite potential that resides within each and every one of you. For it is in that stillness, in that silence, that we come to know our true nature, our oneness with the divine. You see, the real truth of being silent is that it is the gateway to all manifestation. It is the fertile soil in which the seeds of your desires take root and grow. It is the canvas upon which you paint the masterpiece of your life. In silence, you become the author of your own story, the creator of your own reality. But how, you may ask, can silence be so powerful? How can the absence of action, the cessation of thought, lead to the fulfillment of our deepest desires? The answer, my friends, lies in understanding the nature of reality itself. You see, the world you perceive around you with all its seeming solidity and permanence is but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. Your consciousness, your awareness, is the substance from which all things are formed. And it is in the silence of your mind that you gain access to this substance, this creative power. When you enter into silence, when you still the incessant chatter of your thoughts, you enter into the realm of pure potential. In this state, unencumbered by doubts, fears, or limiting beliefs, you are free to impress upon your subconscious mind the image of your desired reality. And make no mistake, it is your subconscious mind that shapes your world, that molds the circumstances of your life to match your inner convictions. Let me share with you a fundamental truth. Imagination creates reality. Your imagination, when focused and imbued with the feeling of reality, becomes the blueprint from which your life is built, and it is in silence that your imagination is most potent, most alive. In the silence of your mind, you can see with perfect clarity the life you wish to lead. You can feel with every fiber of your being the joy, the success, the love that you desire. And in feeling it, in experiencing it within your imagination as a present fact, you set in motion the forces that will bring it into your physical reality. This, my dear friends, is the law of assumption. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you live from the end as if your desire were already a fact, you align yourself with the creative power of the universe. You become one with your desire, and in that state of oneness, manifestation becomes inevitable. But to reach this state, to truly embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you must first cultivate silence. You must learn to quiet the doubting voice of your rational mind, to still the turbulent waters of your emotions. For it is only in the calm, in the silence, that you can clearly hear the voice of your intuition, the whisper of your higher self. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I possibly find silence in this noisy world? How can I quiet my mind when it's constantly bombarded with thoughts and worries? And to you, I say this: silence is not something you find, it is something you create. The practice of silence begins with a decision, a commitment to turn inward, to disconnect from the external world and reconnect with your inner being. It begins with setting aside time each day, even if only for a few minutes, to sit in quietude, to observe your thoughts without judgment, to simply be. As you cultivate this practice, you will find that silence becomes not just a state you enter into during meditation, but a constant companion, a refuge you can access at any moment. You will discover that even in the midst of chaos, you can tap into an inner wellspring of peace and clarity. But the real truth of being silent goes beyond mere relaxation or stress relief. It is a transformative practice that alters the very fabric of your being. In silence, you begin to peel away the layers of conditioning, the false beliefs and limitations that have been imposed upon you by society, by your upbringing, by your past experiences. You see, my friends, most of us go through life wearing masks, playing roles that have been assigned to us by others. We identify with our jobs, our possessions, our relationships, our social status. But these are not who we truly are. They are merely costumes we wear in the grand play of life. In silence, you begin to see through these illusions. You come face to face with your true self, your eternal, unchanging essence. And in that recognition, in that remembrance of who you really are, you reclaim your power as a creative being. as a co-creator with the divine. This is why silence is so threatening to the ego, to the false self that thrives on noise and distraction. The ego fears silence because in silence it ceases to exist. In the pure awareness that arises in deep silence, there is no ego, no separate self. There is only the I am, the eternal presence that is your true nature. And it is from this state of pure being, this state of I am, that all creation springs forth. When you silence the mind and enter into the I am state, you tap into the infinite potential of the universe. You become a clear channel through which the divine can express itself in the world. This, my dear friends, is the real power of silence. It is not passive, it is not weak. On the contrary, it is the most potent force in the universe. For in silence, you align yourself with the very source of all creation. You become one with the power that spins galaxies and orchestrates the dance of subatomic particles. Now let me be clear. The silence I speak of is not a retreat from the world. It is not about escaping your responsibilities or avoiding the challenges of life. No, the silence I speak of is a dynamic, creative force that empowers you to engage with life more fully, more authentically. When you cultivate inner silence, you develop a clarity of perception that allows you to see through the world. You begin to recognize that the external circumstances of your life are but reflections of your inner state. And in this recognition lies true freedom, true power. For if your world is a reflection of your consciousness, then by changing your consciousness, you change your world. This is the promise and the challenge of the practice of silence. It offers you the keys to the kingdom, but it also demands that you take full responsibility for your life, for your creations. In the silence of your mind, you will encounter your fears, your doubts, your unresolved emotions. You will come face to face with the parts of yourself that you have denied or repressed. This can be uncomfortable, even frightening at times. But remember, my friends, that these shadows only have power over you as long as they remain in darkness. By bringing them into the light of your awareness, by observing them without judgment in the silence of your mind, you begin to dissolve these limiting patterns. You free yourself from the unconscious programming that has been running your life on autopilot. This is why the practice of silence is so transformative. It is not just about manifesting your desires, though that is certainly a powerful aspect of it. It is about awakening to your true nature, about remembering who you really are beyond all the roles and identities you have assumed. In silence, you discover that you are not your thoughts, not your emotions, not your body. These are all aspects of your experience, but they are not your essence. Your essence is the awareness that perceives these things, the consciousness that underlies all experience. And when you realize this, when you truly know this, not just intellectually, but experientially, your entire relationship with life changes. You no longer feel like a victim of circumstances, buffeted about by the winds of fate. You recognize yourself as the author of your experience, as the creator of your reality. This recognition brings with it a profound sense of peace, a deep trust in the unfolding of life. For when you know that you are one with the creative power of the universe, what is there to fear? When you understand that all experiences, all circumstances are but reflections of your own consciousness, what is there to resist? In this state of inner silence, of deep trust, manifestation becomes effortless. You no longer need to struggle or strive to make things happen. You simply hold the image of your desire in your mind, feel it as real, and then release it, knowing that the infinite intelligence of the universe will bring it about in divine timing. This is the art of conscious creation, and it is born in silence. It is in the quiet of your mind that you can most clearly formulate your intentions, most vividly imagine your desired reality, and most deeply feel the emotion of your wish fulfilled. But remember, my friends, that the power of silence extends beyond individual manifestation. As you cultivate inner silence, as you align yourself with the creative power of the universe, you become a force for transformation in the world. You see, you are all connected, all part of the same universal consciousness. When you change your inner state, when you raise your vibration through the practice of silence, you contribute to the elevation of collective consciousness. You become a beacon of light, radiating peace and possibility to all those around you. This is how real change happens in the world, not through force or struggle, but through the silent revolution of consciousness. As more and more individuals awaken to their true nature, as more and more people cultivate the power of silence, we create a ripple effect that has the potential to transform our entire society, our entire world. Imagine a world where people are no longer driven by fear, greed, and the need for external validation. Imagine a world where each individual recognizes their inherent divinity, their innate power to create. This is the world we can create through the practice of silence. But it begins with you. It begins with your commitment to cultivate inner silence, to turn within and reconnect with your true self. It begins with your willingness to face your fears, to challenge your limiting beliefs, to imagine a greater possibility for your life and for the world. The journey into silence is not always easy. There will be times when the noise of the world seems overwhelming, when the chatter of your mind seems incessant. There will be moments of doubt, of frustration, of impatience. But I urge you, my dear friends, to persist. For in those moments of challenge lie the greatest opportunities for growth, for transformation. It is often in our darkest hours that we discover our greatest light. It is when we feel most lost that we are on the verge of finding ourselves. So I invite you here and now to make a commitment to silence. Commit to setting aside time each day to sit in quietude, to turn within and listen to the wisdom of your heart. Commit to observing your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions without judgment, simply witnessing them as they arise and pass away. As you do this, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in your perception. The world around you may appear brighter, more alive. You may find yourself responding to situations with greater calm, greater clarity. You may notice synchronicities and serendipities occurring more frequently in your life. These are all signs that you are aligning with the creative power of the universe. They are confirmations that you are on the right path, that your practice of silence is bearing fruit. But remember, the greatest confirmation, the truest measure of your progress, is the peace you feel within. It is the growing sense of connection to something greater than yourself, the deepening trust in the unfolding of life. As you continue on this path, as you deepen your practice of silence, you will discover that it becomes not just a practice, but a way of life. You will find yourself naturally turning within in moments of challenge or decision, naturally seeking the guidance of your inner wisdom. You will discover that you no longer need to force things to happen in your life. Instead, you will learn to flow with the current of life, to co-create with the universe in a dance of effortless manifestation. This, my dear friends, is the real truth of being silent. It is not about absence, but presence. It is not about emptiness, but fullness. It is about tapping into the infinite potential that lies within you, about aligning with the creative power of the universe. In silence, you discover that you are not separate from the source of all creation. You are that source expressing itself in human form. You are the universe experiencing itself through your unique perspective. And when you know this, when you live from this truth, your life becomes a joyous adventure of creation and self-discovery. You no longer feel bound by limitations or constrained by circumstances. You recognize that the only limits that exist are those you have accepted in your own mind. In silence, you have the power to transcend these self-imposed limitations. You have the power to reimagine yourself, to rewrite the story of your life. You have the power to create a life that is a true expression of your highest potential, your deepest desires. So I urge you, my dear friends, embrace the practice of silence. Make it a cornerstone of your daily life. For in doing so, you are not just transforming your own life, you are contributing to the transformation of our world. Every moment of silence, every instance of turning within, every act of conscious creation ripples out into the collective consciousness. It adds to the growing wave of awakening that is sweeping across our planet. You are part of this great awakening. Your commitment to silence, to inner transformation, is a vital contribution to the evolution of human consciousness. Never underestimate the power of your individual practice, for it is through the transformation of individuals that we transform the world. As you leave here today, I invite you to carry this message of silence with you. Let it be a constant reminder of your true nature, of your innate power to create. Let it inspire you to turn within, to seek the wisdom and guidance that resides in the silence of your own heart. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It is not something to be sought in the external world, but a state of consciousness to be realized through the practice of silence. It is your birthright, your true inheritance as a divine being having a human experience. So claim your birthright. Embrace the silence. Allow it to reveal to you the infinite potential that lies within. Allow it to guide you to the fulfillment of your deepest desires, to the realization of your highest purpose. For in the end, my dear friends, this is what the practice of silence offers: the opportunity to live a life of purpose, of passion, of deep fulfillment. It offers us the chance to become conscious co-creators with the divine, to play our unique part in the grand symphony of creation. This is the real truth of being silent. It is the key to unlocking the treasure house of your own being, to accessing the infinite wisdom and power that resides within you. It is the path to true freedom, true happiness, true self-realization. So go forth from here with a renewed commitment to silence. Make it your constant companion, your trusted guide on the journey of life. Let it lead you to the deepest truths of your being, to the fullest expression of your divine nature. And as you do, know that you are not alone on this journey. The same power that spins the galaxies, that orchestrates the dance of life, is within you, supporting you, guiding you every step of the way. Trust in this power. Surrender to it. Allow it to work through you, to express itself as you. For you are a divine being, a creative force in the universe. You have within you the power to shape your reality, to manifest your desires, to create a life of joy, abundance, and fulfillment. This is the promise of silence. This is the gift that awaits you in the quiet depths of your own being. Embrace it, my dear friends. Live it, be it. And in doing so, you will not only transform your own life, but you will contribute to the transformation of our world. You will become a beacon of light, a channel for divine expression, a living embodiment of the truth that lies at the heart of all creation. This is your calling. This is your destiny. This is the real truth of being silent. So let us go forth from here with renewed purpose, with deepened commitment to our inner journey. Let us embrace the power of silence, knowing that in its depths lie the keys to our freedom, our fulfillment, our ultimate realization. For in silence, we find our true selves. In silence, we connect with the divine. In silence, we become co-creators with the universe. This is the promise. This is the possibility. This is the truth. And it is available to each and every one of you here and now, in this very moment. So take a deep breath, my friends. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the silence that surrounds you, that permeates you. Feel the power that resides within you. And in this moment of stillness, of inner quiet, set your intention. Commit to making silence a part of your daily life. Commit to turning within, to listening to the wisdom of your heart, to aligning with the creative power of the universe. For in this commitment lies the seed of your transformation. In this decision to embrace silence lies the potential for a life beyond your wildest dreams. So step boldly into the silence, my friends. Step boldly into your power. Step boldly into the grand adventure of conscious creation that awaits you. For this is your birthright. This is your destiny. This is the real truth of being silent. And it is calling you home to yourself, to your true nature, to the infinite potential that lies within you. Answer the call, my friends. Embrace the silence and watch as your life transforms in miraculous ways. For in silence, all things are possible. In silence, you are infinite. In silence, you are free. This is the truth. This is the way. This is the life that awaits you. So go forth and be silent. Go forth and be powerful. Go forth and be the creator of magnificent reality. For this is who you truly are. This is what you came here to be. This is the real truth of being silent. And it is yours now and always to claim to live. Thank you, my dear friends. May the power of silence guide you, bless you, and transform you. May you realize the fullness of your divine nature and create a life that is a testament to the infinite potential that resides within you. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And your journey into the transformative power of silence begins with this moment, with the decision to turn within and listen to the wisdom of your heart. So take that step, my friends. Embrace the silence and watch as the miracles unfold in your life. For this is the promise of silence. This is the gift that awaits you. This is the real truth of being silent. And it is yours now and forever to explore, to embody, to become. Go in peace, my friends. Go in power. Go in the knowing that you are divine beings, creators of your own reality, masters of your own destiny. For this is the truth that silence reveals. This is the reality that awaits you in the quiet depths of your own being. Embrace it, live it. For in doing so, you fulfill your highest purpose, you express your truest nature, you become who you were always meant to be. This is the invitation of silence. This is the promise of your own divine nature. This is the real truth of being silent. And it is calling you home to yourself, to your power, to your truth. Answer the call, my friends. Step into the silence and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. For in silence, all things are possible. In silence, you are infinite. In silence, you are free. This is the truth. This is the way. This is the life that awaits you. So go forth and be silent. Go forth and be powerful. Go forth and be the creator of your own magnificent reality. For this is who you truly are. This is what you came here to be. This is the real truth of being silent. And it is yours now and always to claim, to live, to be. Thank you. And may the power of silence guide you always. Let us begin with a fundamental truth from Scripture. In John 1:1 we read, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." Now, most people interpret this passage literally, thinking it refers to spoken words. But I tell you this, the word spoken of here is not mere language. It is vibration, it is feeling. It is the very sensation of your desire fulfilled. You see, my dear friends, when you truly understand this principle, you realize that imagination and vibration are one and the same. They are not two separate things. They are the same force expressing itself through different aspects of your consciousness. This is why the Bible tells us by faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the Word of God. This word, this vibration is your own wonderful human imagination in action. Let me share with you a profound secret about vibration and imagination. When you imagine something, you are not merely creating mental pictures. You are generating a specific frequency, a particular vibration that corresponds to your desire fulfilled. This is why feeling is the secret, for feeling is the language of vibration. Consider the story of Moses and the burning bush. When God revealed himself to Moses, he did not appear as words on a page or as mere thoughts in Moses' mind. He appeared as energy, as vibration, as living flame that did not consume. This, my dear friends, is a perfect metaphor for how your imagination works through vibration. You see, when you imagine your desire fulfilled, you are literally setting yourself aflame with the vibration of that state. But like the burning bush, this flame does not consume you, it transforms you. It transmutes your entire being into the frequency of your desire fulfilled. Let me tell you a story that perfectly illustrates this principle. Recently, a lady came to me desiring a new home. She had been using affirmations and positive words for months without success. I told her, stop using words. Instead, feel the vibration of actually living in your desired home. Feel the texture of the walls, the warmth of the sunlight through the windows, the peace and satisfaction of occupying that space. Within 2 weeks, she had her new home. You see, she didn't manifest it through words. She manifested it through vibration, through the feeling of actually being there. This is what Jesus meant when he said, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." Now let us delve deeper into this mystery of vibration and imagination. In the book of Ezekiel, we read about the valley of dry bones. When God commanded Ezekiel to prophesy to the bones, it wasn't the words that brought them to life. It was the vibration, the energy, the feeling tone of life itself that animated them. This is exactly how your imagination works. When you imagine your desire fulfilled, you are not merely thinking about it. You are vibrating at the frequency of its fulfillment. You are literally becoming one with the state you desire to express. Let me share another principle that would transform your understanding of vibration and imagination. In Scripture, we read, "Be still and know that I am God." This stillness is not mere physical quietude. It is a specific vibrational state where your imagination and your desire become one. You see, when you enter this state of stillness, you are tuning yourself to the perfect frequency of your desire fulfilled. This is why meditation and contemplation are so powerful. Not because of any words you might use, but because they allow you to align your vibration with your imagination. Consider the story of Elijah on Mount Horeb. God was not in the wind, not in the earthquake, not in the fire. God was in the still small voice. This still small voice is not words, it is vibration. It is the feeling tone of your desire fulfilled. Let me share another secret about using vibration instead of words. When you imagine something, your entire being begins to vibrate at the frequency of that state. This is why Scripture tells us, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Notice it says in his heart, not in his mind, not in his words, but in his heart, where feeling and vibration originate. Now let me tell you about a businessman who applied this principle perfectly. He wanted to expand his company, but was struggling with traditional goal setting and affirmations. I told him, stop using words to describe what you want. Instead, feel the vibration of running a successful, expanded business. Feel the satisfaction, the confidence, the certainty of it. Within months, his business had doubled in size. You see, he didn't achieve this through words or planning. He achieved it by maintaining the vibration of his desire fulfilled. This is what Jesus meant when he said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. The kingdom is not a place or a set of words. It is a vibrational state. Let us explore another aspect of this truth. In the book of Revelation, John speaks of hearing a great voice as of a trumpet. This trumpet is not producing mere sound. It is producing vibration, frequency, energy. This is exactly what your imagination does when it is properly employed. You see, my dear friends, every desire you hold contains within it a specific vibrational frequency. Your job is not to describe this frequency with words, but to feel it, to become one with it, to let it resonate through your entire being. I think of it this way. When you strike a tuning fork, it produces both sound and vibration. The sound is temporary, but the vibration continues long after the sound has faded. Similarly, words are temporary, but vibration, the feeling of your desire fulfilled, continues to resonate and create. Let me share another principle that will revolutionize your understanding of manifestation. When Scripture says, let there be light, it is not referring to physical light, but to illuminated consciousness, consciousness vibrating at the frequency of desire fulfilled. You see, when you truly understand this, you realize that manifestation is not about using the right words or thinking the right thoughts. It's about achieving and maintaining the right vibrational state, the state of your desire fulfilled. Consider the story of Joshua and the walls of Jericho. The walls didn't fall because of the words the people spoke or the horns they blew. They fell because the vibration of victory was maintained until physical reality had no choice but to conform to it. This is exactly how your imagination works. When you maintain the vibration of your desire fulfilled, when you feel the reality of it with your entire being, the circumstances of your life must rearrange themselves to match that vibration. Let me tell you about a teacher who applied this principle perfectly. She desired to impact more lives through her work, but was stuck using traditional goal-setting methods. I told her, stop thinking about how to reach more people. Instead, feel the vibration of already touching countless lives. Feel the satisfaction, the fulfillment, the joy of it. Within months, she had opportunities to teach internationally. You see, she didn't create these opportunities through words or planning. She created them by maintaining the vibration of her desire fulfilled. Now let us discuss something crucial about this process. Most people try to use their imagination as a tool separate from themselves. But I tell you this, your imagination is not a tool. It is your very self. It is God in action within you. And God does not create through words alone, but through vibration, through feeling, through the sensation of reality. Consider the words of Jesus. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Notice he doesn't say they are mere words, they are spirit. They are vibration, they are living energy. This is why when you imagine something, you must do more than see it or think about it. You must feel it, sense it, become one with its vibration. This is what Jesus meant when he said, I and my Father are one. He was expressing his complete unity with the vibration of his desires fulfilled. Let me share another profound truth about vibration and imagination. When you enter into the feeling of your desire fulfilled, you are literally rearranging the substance of the universe. This is not metaphysical thinking. This is scientific fact clothed in scriptural language. Think about the story of creation. God didn't just speak the world into existence. He felt it, experienced it, became one with it through imagination and vibration. This is exactly what you must do with your desires. You see, my dear friends, every desire you hold is already fulfilled in what I call the kingdom, the realm of pure vibration and imagination. Your task is not to create it through words or effort, but to tune yourself to its frequency, to feel its reality, to become one with its vibration. Let me tell you about someone who understood this perfectly. A gentleman came to me wanting to transform his relationships. He had been using affirmations and positive self-talk without success. I told him, stop using words to try to change your relationships. Instead, feel the vibration of having perfect, harmonious relationships. Feel the love, the understanding, the connection. Within weeks, his relationships began to transform. You see, he didn't change them through words or actions. He changed them by maintaining the vibration of his desire fulfilled. Now let us explore another aspect of this truth. In Scripture we read, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This substance is not words or thoughts. It is vibration. It is the feeling tone of your desire fulfilled. You see, when you have true faith, you don't hope for something to happen in the future. You feel its reality now. You vibrate at the frequency of its fulfillment now. This is what Jesus meant when he said, before Abraham was, I am. Let me share another principle that will transform your understanding of manifestation. Most people think they need to change their circumstances to achieve their desires. But I tell you this, you need only change your vibration, your feeling state, and circumstances will change themselves. Consider the story of Daniel in the lion's den. He didn't survive because of words he spoke or prayers he said. He survived because he maintained the vibration of perfect safety and divine protection. This is exactly how your imagination works when properly employed. You see, when you maintain the vibration of your desire fulfilled, you create what I call a bridge of incidents, a series of apparently unrelated events that lead to the manifestation of your desire. This is why Scripture tells us all things work together for good to them that love God. Let me tell you about an artist who applied this principle perfectly. She wanted to showcase her work in major galleries, but was struggling with traditional networking and promotion. I told her, stop trying to make it happen through words and actions. Instead, feel the vibration of being a successful, recognized artist. Feel the satisfaction, the fulfillment, the reality of it. Within months, she had exhibitions in 3 major galleries. You see, she didn't achieve this through effort or planning. She achieved it by maintaining the vibration of her desire fulfilled. Now let us discuss something crucial about this process of manifestation through vibration. Most people think they need to repeat their desire many times or visualize it frequently. But I tell you this, what you need is not repetition, but intensity of feeling, intensity of vibration. Consider the words of Jesus, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Notice he doesn't say believe that you will receive it, he says believe that you have received it. This is about maintaining the vibration of fulfillment now. You see, my dear friends, when you enter into the feeling of your desire fulfilled, when you maintain its vibration, you are literally rearranging the atoms and molecules of your world. This is why Scripture tells us all things are possible to him that believeth. Let me share another profound truth about vibration and imagination. When you imagine something while maintaining its vibrational frequency, you are not creating something new. You are tuning into something that already exists in the realm of pure potential. Think of it this way: every possibility already exists in what quantum physicists call the field of infinite possibilities. Your imagination, operating through vibration, simply tunes you to the frequency of your desired possibility, making it manifest in your physical experience. This is what Jesus meant when he said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God." The kingdom is not a place, it is a vibrational state where all possibilities exist simultaneously. When you enter into the feeling of your desire fulfilled, you are literally entering this kingdom. Let me tell you about a writer who understood this perfectly. She had been struggling to complete her novel, using various writing techniques and affirmations without success. I told her, stop trying to write the book through effort and words. Instead, feel the vibration of being a successful author. Feel the satisfaction of having completed your novel. Feel the joy of readers being transformed by your work. Within 3 months, she had completed her novel and secured a publisher. You see, she didn't achieve this through technique or effort. She acted by maintaining the vibration of her desire fulfilled. Now, as we bring this discussion to a close, I want you to understand something fundamental about vibration and imagination. Your imagination is not separate from the creative force of the universe. It is that creative force individualized as you. When you imagine something while maintaining its vibrational frequency, you are literally God in action. This is why Scripture tells us, "I am that I am." This is not a statement of identity. It is a statement of creative power through vibration and imagination. Remember this, the universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your vibrational state. Your imagination doesn't create through language. It creates through feeling, through vibration, through the sensation of reality. The choice is yours. You can continue trying to create through words and effort, or you can step into your divine power and create through vibration and imagination. The difference between these approaches is the difference between seeking and finding. So I tell you this, stop trying to use words to create your reality. Start feeling the vibration of your desire fulfilled. Maintain that feeling regardless of appearances. Trust in the law that shapes all things according to your conscious assumptions. For when you master this, when you truly understand how to create through vibration and imagination, you become more than just a creator of circumstances. You become aware of your true nature as the operant power of the universe itself. This is your birthright. This is your true identity. This is who you really are. Thank you, and good night. Let me tell you about the law that governs all creation. Consciousness is the only reality. Everything you see in your world, everything you experience, is nothing more than your consciousness pushed out. Your physical reality is merely a shadow, a reflection of your inner state of being. Now imagine for a moment that your mind is like a garden. Every thought you think, every assumption you hold, every feeling you nurture is a seed planted in this garden. And just as surely as a seed grows into its corresponding plant, your thoughts and feelings grow into your experiences. You see, most people are walking around believing that their thoughts are simply reactions to their reality. But here's the profound truth. Your thoughts are not reactions to your world. They are the very cause of your world. Your consciousness is not a passive observer. It is the active creator. Let me share with you what I call the law of assumption. This law states that if you assume you are what you want to be and continue in that assumption, it must become your reality. It's not hoping, it's not wishing, it's not even believing, it's knowing. It's assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Here's what separates those who manifest their desires from those who don't. Those who succeed live from the end. They don't wait for circumstances to change to feel what they want to feel. They feel it first, knowing that the feeling precedes the manifestation. You know what's fascinating about your imagination? It's not a fantasy factory creating idle daydreams. Your imagination is the very workshop in which all reality is fashioned. But most people use their imagination to rehearse their fears instead of rehearsing their desires. Let me tell you about the power of your inner conversations. Every moment of every day, you're having conversations in your mind. These conversations are not mere mental chatter. They are the blueprint of your future experiences. But most people let their inner conversations be dictated by their current circumstances, rather than their desired reality. Now, some of you might be thinking, but how can my consciousness create reality? Let me share with you this eternal truth. Consciousness is the only reality. Everything else, every person, every circumstance, every event is simply consciousness manifested. Let me share with you the profound truth about states of consciousness. You see, every moment of your life, you're occupying a state. Every state you occupy must bear its fruit in your physical world. But most people occupy states unconsciously, never realizing they can choose their state at will. Your entire world is nothing more than your consciousness projected outward. When you understand this, you'll realize that to change your world, you need only change your consciousness. But here's the secret that few understand. You must persist in the new state until it feels natural. Now let me tell you about what I call living in the end. When you truly desire something, you must assume the feeling of already having it. You must sleep in the assumption that your desire is already a fact. Your physical senses may deny it, but you must remain faithful to your assumption. You see, most people make the mistake of trying to change things on the outside first. But here's the profound truth. The outside is dead. It has no life of its own. All life, all animation, all power flows from within. Your consciousness is the only living reality. Let me share with you the power of revision. Every night before you sleep, you have the power to revise your day. You can take any event that did go as you desired and in your imagination replay exactly as you wish it had gone. This is not mere fantasy. This is actually changing the past in your consciousness, which must then change your future. Here's what most people don't understand about manifestation. It's not about forcing changes in the external world. It's about changing your conception of yourself. When you change your self-concept, the world must reshape itself to match your new assumption. You know what's fascinating about your desires? They are God's way of telling you what you can have. The mere fact that you can desire something means it's possible in your world. But you must claim it in consciousness first. Let me tell you about the law of identical harvest. Whatever you plant in consciousness will grow into your reality. If you plant doubt, you harvest uncertainty. If you plant the assumption of success, you must harvest success. It's a law as exact as mathematics. Now, some of you might be wondering about time. How long would it take? But time is an illusion of the physical world. In consciousness, the thing is done the moment you assume it is done. The time it takes to appear in your physical world is determined by your conviction in its reality. You see, there's a secret about your brain that most people never discover. It cannot tell the difference between what you're vividly imagining and what you're actually experiencing. When you imagine with feeling, you're literally rewiring your brain to accept your desire as reality. Let me share with you the power of feeling. Feeling is the secret. It's not enough to just visualize or affirm. You must feel the reality of desire now. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the gratitude of having what you desire. Feel it so deeply that your whole being vibrates with the certainty of it. Here's what's profound about your imagination. It's not creating something new. It's selecting and bringing forth something that already exists in infinite possibility. But you must learn to use your imagination consciously, purposefully. Let me reveal to you the profound secret about your own magnificent mind. Your brain, you see, is not merely recording reality, it is creating reality. Every single thought you entertain, every feeling you embrace is literally reshaping the neural pathways in your brain. But most people never realize they are the sculptors of their own brain structure. Now understand this fundamental truth. When you fall asleep at night, your subconscious mind accepts as true the last impressions you held in consciousness. This is why I tell you never to sleep feeling worried or fearful. Instead, fall asleep in the absolute assumption that your desire is already fulfilled. You see, there's something miraculous about the state akin to sleep, the state between waking and sleeping. In this drowsy state, your conscious mind's resistance is lowered, and your subconscious becomes incredibly receptive to new impressions. This is the perfect state for impressing your desires upon your subconscious mind. Let me share with you what I call mental diet. Just as you carefully choose what you feed your physical body, you must be even more selective about what you feed your mind. Every mental conversation, every inner assumption is food for your consciousness. But most people mentally feast on the very things they wish to eliminate from their lives. Here's something profound about your imagination. It speaks in the language of feeling. When you imagine something, feel it as though it were happening now. Feel the texture, the weight, the temperature. Feel the emotional satisfaction of having your desire fulfilled. Your brain responds to this feeling as though it were actually happening. You know what's fascinating about consciousness? It operates at multiple levels simultaneously. Your conscious mind might doubt. But if you can get your subconscious to accept an idea, it must become your reality. This is why feeling is so crucial. Feeling bypasses the conscious mind's doubts. Let me tell you about the power of your self-talk. Every time you say I am, you're making a claim on existence. You're literally programming your subconscious mind. But most people habitually make negative I am statements, never realizing they're creating those very conditions they wish to avoid. Now, some might ask, but what about external circumstances? Remember this eternal truth: circumstances don't matter. Only state of consciousness matters. When you change your state of consciousness, circumstances must change to match your new state. You see, there's something remarkable about your brain's reticular activating system. Once you impress upon it what you want, it begins to notice opportunities and possibilities that were always there but previously invisible to you. But you must first impress it with the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let me share with you the power of persistent assumption. When you assume something is true and persist in that assumption despite all evidence to the contrary, your brain begins to create neural pathways that support that assumption. This is literally rewiring your brain for success. Here's what's profound about your mental conversations. They are literally instructions to your subconscious mind. Every time you imagine a conversation, you're programming your brain. Well, most people mentally rehearse conversations of failure and limitation instead of success and abundance. Let me share with you something profound about the nature of your consciousness. Your entire world, every experience, every relationship, every circumstance is simply your consciousness pushed out into manifestation. When you truly grasp this, you'll understand why changing your consciousness is the only way to permanently change anything in your world. Now understand this. Your brain is infinitely malleable. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, but I tell you it is the physical expression of a spiritual law. Every time you assume a new state of consciousness, you are literally creating new neural pathways. Your brain physically restructures itself to match your dominant mental state. You see, most people wait for something to happen before they change their mental state. But here's the profound truth. This is the exact opposite of how the law works. You must first occupy the state of consciousness that corresponds to your desire. Your physical reality has no choice but to reshape itself to match your inner state. Let me tell you about what I call living from the end. When you thoroughly understand this, you'll never again worry about the how of manifestation. You see, the end is where we begin. Occupy the state of consciousness of already having what you desire. Feel it as real now. Your brain will then orchestrate the means. Here's something fascinating about your subconscious mind. It accepts as true whatever you feel to be true. It doesn't distinguish between what you're vividly imagining and what you're actually experiencing. This is why feeling is the secret. Feel the reality of your desire now, and your subconscious must find ways to bring it into physical expression. You know what's remarkable about your mental conversations? They are the thread from which the fabric of your reality is woven. Every internal dialogue, every imagined conversation is creating neural patterns in your brain. But most people allow their mental conversations to be dominated by doubt, worry, and limitation. Let me share with you the power of revision. When you revise an event in your imagination, you're not merely creating a pleasant fantasy. You are literally rewiring your brain's interpretation of that event. The revised version of your new reality, because consciousness is the only reality. Now, some might say, but what about facts? Remember this, facts are only the fruit of past assumptions. Change your assumptions, and you change the facts. Your brain is constantly filtering reality based on your assumptions. Change your assumptions, and you change what your brain perceives as fact. You see, there's something profound about your attention. Whatever you place your attention on grows in your consciousness. This is why I tell you to withdraw your attention from unwanted conditions. Give all your attention to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let me tell you about the law of identical harvest. Your brain will always manifest what you plant in consciousness. If you plant the seed of assumption that you are wealthy, successful, loved, while feeling the reality of it, your brain must find ways to manifest these conditions. Let me reveal to you something extraordinary about the power of your persistent imagination. Your imagination, sustained with feeling, is the very substance from which your future is molded. When you persist in imagining and feeling your desire is already fulfilled, you are literally programming your brain to manifest that reality. Now, understand this crucial truth: your brain doesn't know the difference between what you're vividly imagining and what you're physically experiencing. When you imagine with feeling, you create the same neural patterns that would be created if you were actually experiencing your desire. This is why imagination is the real and external world the shadow. You see, most people use their imagination unconsciously, letting it run wild with fears and worries. But here's the profound truth. Your imagination is God's gift to you. It is the creative power through which you can consciously design your life. Every time you imagine something vividly, you're literally rewiring your brain's circuitry. Let me share with you what I call the sleeping technique. As you lay in bed at night, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Feel the naturalness of having what you desire. Your subconscious mind is most receptive in these drowsy moments, and whatever you impress upon it then must manifest in your world. Here's something remarkable about your consciousness. It operates on multiple frequencies simultaneously. Your conscious mind might doubt, but if you can impress your desire upon your subconscious through feeling, doubt becomes irrelevant. Your subconscious will work tirelessly to manifest what you've impressed upon it. You know what's fascinating about your brain's reticular activating system? Once you program it through conscious imagination and feeling, it begins to notice opportunities and possibilities that were always there but previously invisible to you. But you must first impress it with the feeling of the end result. Let me tell you about the power of your self-concept. Every thought you think about yourself, every assumption you hold about who you are, is literally shaping your brain's neural pathways. But most people never realize they can consciously choose and revise their self-concept. Now, some might ask about time. Remember this: in consciousness, there is no time. The moment you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, the seed is planted. Your brain begins its magnificent work of bringing your assumption into physical reality. You see, there's something profound about feeling. Feeling is the secret. When you generate the feeling of having what you desire, you activate the same neural networks that would be activated if you actually had it. Your brain then begins to create the circumstances that match this neural pattern. Let me reveal to you a profound secret about the architecture of your mind. Your consciousness is not confined to your physical brain. It is infinite, boundless, and all-powerful. Yet your brain is the magnificent instrument through which this infinite consciousness expresses itself in your physical experience. Now, understand this fundamental principle. Every thought you think, every feeling you entertain is creating pathways in your brain. These neural pathways become the channels through which your future experiences must flow. But most people create these pathways unconsciously, never realizing they can consciously design them. You see, when you truly understand that your brain is infinitely malleable, you'll realize that no state is permanent, unlike it's so through your persistent assumption. Your current circumstances, no matter how seemingly fixed, are only the reflection of past patterns of thought. Change the pattern, and you change the reflection. Let me share with you what I call the divine moment. This moment right now is the only time when you can impress new patterns upon your brain. The past exists only in memory, the future only in imagination. But in this divine moment, you have the power to rewrite your entire life story. Here's something extraordinary about your subconscious mind. It cannot distinguish between what you're vividly imagining and what you're physically experiencing. When you imagine with feeling, you create the same neural patterns that would be created by the actual experience. This is why imagination is the very substance of creation. You know what's fascinating about consciousness? It operates on the principle of assumption. Whatever you assume to be true, your brain will work tirelessly to prove right. But most people make their assumptions based on past experience rather than desired experience. Let me tell you about the power of your inner conversations. Every word you speak in your mind is literally programming your brain. These mental conversations are not mere idle chatter. They are the blueprints from which your brain constructs your future experiences. Now, some might wonder about persistent negative thoughts. Remember this, a thought only has power over you if you give it the power of your attention and feeling. You can choose in any moment to withdraw your attention from unwanted thoughts and place it fully on the feeling of your wish fulfilled. You see, there's something profound about the law of identical harvest. Whatever you plant in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind through feeling and persistent assumption must grow into your physical reality. But you must water it with attention and nurture it with conviction. Let me share with you the power of revision. When you revise an event in your imagination, feeling it as you wish it had happened, you're not merely creating a pleasant fantasy. You are literally rewiring your brain's interpretation of that event, which must then change your future. Let me reveal to you the deepest truth about consciousness and creation. Your entire universe exists within your own consciousness. Everything you perceive, everything you experience, is simply consciousness expressing itself in form. When you truly grasp this, you'll understand why changing your consciousness is the master key to changing your entire world. Now, understand this vital principle. Your brain is not merely recording reality, it is creating reality based on your dominant mental states. Every assumption you hold, every feeling you nurture, every state you occupy is literally reshaping your neural architecture. But most people never realize they are the architects of their own brain structure. You see, there's something profound about what I call the law of reversed effort. The harder you try to make something happen through physical effort alone, the more you reinforce the consciousness of lack. Instead, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and your brain will naturally orchestrate its manifestation. Let me share with you what I call the sad bath. This is the state where you completely rest in the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled. When you enter this state, you cease all effort, because in consciousness, the thing is already done. Your brain then works effortlessly to bring it into manifestation. Here's something remarkable about your attention. Whatever you place your attention on grows in your consciousness. This is not metaphysical speculation. This is literal brain function. Your attention strengthens neural pathways. But most people habitually focus their attention on what they don't want instead of what they do want. You know what's fascinating about your subconscious mind? It takes everything personally. When you say they are, he is yours, your subconscious interprets it as I am. This is why you must be extremely careful about how you think and speak about others. You are literally programming your own subconscious. Let me tell you about the power of your nightly review. The moments before sleep are crucial because your subconscious is most receptive then. Whatever you impress upon your mind as you drift off to sleep will work all night long to reshape your brain's neural patterns. Now, some might ask about persistence. Remember this, persistence is not about forcing or struggling. It's about maintaining the feeling of your wish fulfilled regardless of appearances. Your physical senses may deny it, but you must remain faithful to your assumption. Now understand this fundamental truth about your brain's function. It's constantly seeking evidence to support your dominant beliefs and assumptions. This is not just psychology. This is the very mechanism through which consciousness creates reality. Your brain will literally filter reality to match your assumptions. You see, there's something extraordinary about what I call controlled imagination. When you consciously direct your imagination with feeling, you're not just daydreaming. You're actually programming your brain's neural networks. These networks then become the channels through which your future must flow. Let me tell you about the power of your first-person perspective. When you imagine from the first-person view, feeling and experiencing your desire as already fulfilled, you create far more powerful neural patterns than if you merely observe from the outside. Your brain responds as though it's happening now. Here's something fascinating about your consciousness. It operates in states. Each state has its own complete set of memories, beliefs, and expectations. When you enter a new state, you literally access a new set of neural pathways. But most people remain stuck in unwanted states, never realizing they can choose a new state at will. You know what's remarkable about your self-talk? Every I am statement you make is literally an instruction to your subconscious mind. Your brain doesn't question these statements, it simply works to make them true. But most people unconsciously make limiting I am statements all day long. Let me share with you the power of feeling. Feeling is the secret because feeling creates the neural patterns that attract corresponding experiences. When you generate the feeling of having what you desire, you're not just creating a pleasant emotion. You're literally rewiring your brain for success. Now, some might wonder about the role of action. Remember this, action does not create, it only expresses. True creation happens in consciousness first. When you occupy the state of having your desire fulfilled, appropriate action flows naturally and effortlessly. You see, there's something profound about what I call mental diet. Just as your physical body is built from the food you eat, your experience is built from the mental food you consume. Every thought, every assumption, every inner conversation is either nourishing or poisoning your future. Let me tell you about the law of reversibility. Just as physical action produces feeling, feeling can produce physical action. By deliberately assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you set in motion the physical actions that will bring it into manifestation. Perhaps you find yourself facing challenges, feeling that life is a constant struggle. Or maybe you've experienced some successes, but still feel that there's something more, something greater waiting to be realized. Wherever you are, I say unto you, you are exactly where you need to be to grasp this life-altering principle. But what does it mean to say this in your head for a while? It is not a matter of mere repetition or mindless chanting. It is a state of consciousness, a shift in perception that aligns you with the creative power of the universe. It is about recognizing that your inner dialogue, the words you say to yourself in the privacy of your own mind, are not just fleeting thoughts, but living, creative forces that shape your reality. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. Your outer world, every experience you have, every circumstance you encounter, is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world. And your inner world is shaped, moment by moment, by the words you say to yourself in your head. When you understand this, truly understand it, you realize that by carefully choosing and persistently holding certain thoughts in your mind, you are actively creating a reality where these thoughts manifest. This understanding is crucial, for it shifts the entire paradigm of how you approach life. No longer are you a victim of circumstance, hoping for good things to happen. You become the active creator of your reality, knowing that as you say certain things in your head, as you hold certain thoughts and feelings, the universe must rearrange itself to match these inner states. But how, you may ask, does one harness this power of inner speech? The answer lies in the creative power of your wonderful human imagination, combined with the living force of your inner words. For your imagination is not a mere fantasy maker, and your inner dialogue is not mere mental chatter. Together they form the very workshop in which reality is forged. Let us take a moment to truly understand this. Your subconscious mind, which is one with the universal creative force, does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and declare internally and what you actually experience in the outer world. It accepts as true whatever you feel to be true and whatever you consistently declare to be true in your inner speech. And once it accepts an idea as true, it proceeds to bring it into manifestation in your physical reality. So when you say certain things in your head, When you hold certain thoughts and feelings consistently, you are not engaging in wishful thinking or self-deception. You are actively creating your reality from within. You are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, allowing it to work through you and for you. This, my dear listeners, is the essence of saying things in your head and waiting for what happens. It is about recognizing that the power to shape your reality lies within you, waiting to be expressed through your inner dialogue and feelings. It is about understanding that your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner conversations and assumptions. Consider the biblical phrase, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." This is not a mere poetic expression. It is a statement of cosmic law. Your inner thoughts and feelings, especially those you consequently hold about yourself and your life, have the power to create or destroy, to manifest or to dissolve. When you align your inner dialogue with the highest vision of yourself and your life, you set in motion forces beyond your comprehension and indeed bring these visions into reality. But let me be clear, saying things in your head is not about empty repetitions or false positivity. It is about a fundamental shift in your inner dialogue, in how you perceive and declare yourself to be in the privacy of your own mind. When you truly embody this practice, your inner speech naturally aligns with your desired state of being. You begin to think of yourself with reverence and love. You declare your worthiness, your abundance, your health, your success, not as distant possibilities, but as present realities in your inner world. Let us explore this further with an example. Imagine a person whose inner dialogue is constantly negative. In their head, they might be saying things like, "I'm always unlucky, I'll never succeed, I'm not good enough." These inner conversations, repeated day after day, shape their subconscious beliefs and consequently their reality. They are in essence programming themselves for failure and limitation, creating a life that reflects these negative inner declarations. Now imagine this same person shifting their approach. Instead of negative self-talk, they begin to say positive, empowering things in their head. They might say, "I am blessed with endless opportunities. I am worthy of success and abundance. I am more than enough." They say these things consistently in their mind, with feeling, with conviction, knowing that they are shaping their reality with each inner declaration. They live each day from this new inner dialogue, carrying themselves with the certainty of someone who truly believes these empowering thoughts. In this state, their entire experience of life begins to shift. They start to notice opportunities they might have missed before. They approach challenges with confidence rather than fear. They interact with others from a place of worthiness rather than insecurity. And in doing so, they begin to create a reality that matches these new, empowering inner conversations. They allow a life of abundance, success, and fulfillment to flow into their experience, drawn by the power of their inner words and the feeling behind them. This principle applies to every aspect of your life. Whether you're dealing with health, relationships, career, or any other area, the key is to first say the right things in your head about that area. Declare your wholeness, your lovability, your success in the privacy of your own mind. For what you consistently say to yourself sets the tone for your entire life experience. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, "But Neville, isn't this just positive thinking? Isn't this denial of reality?" And to this, I say emphatically no. This is not about denying your current circumstances. It is about understanding the true nature of reality and the creative power of your inner dialogue and consciousness. Your current circumstances are nothing more than the fruit of your past inner conversations and beliefs about yourself. They have no power to determine your future unless you give them that power by continuing to think and feel their reality. When you shift your inner dialogue, when you begin to say new, empowering things in your head, you are not denying reality. You are exercising your divine right to choose which reality you wish to experience. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is your consciousness expressed through your inner dialogue and feelings that gives life to your experiences. When you say negative things to yourself in your head, you are breathing life into a reality where these negative statements are true. But when you consciously choose to say empowering, positive things in your head, you cause your outer world to rearrange itself to match these new inner conversations. This, my dear friends, is the true secret to changing your life through what you say in your head. It is about aligning your inner dialogue with the highest vision of yourself and your life, recognizing that this desired reality is seeking expression through you and allowing it to flow into your experience through the power of your inner declarations and feelings. But let me warn you, this shift in your inner dialogue is not always an easy path. The old habits of negative self-talk, of saying discouraging things to yourself in your head, are deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness. As you embark on this new way of thinking, you may find resistance arising within you. Doubts may creep in. Old thought patterns may try to reassert themselves. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return to saying the empowering things in your head. For the war is not won by battling against what you don't want to think, but by persistently thinking what you do want. This persistence, this unwavering commitment to maintaining a positive inner dialogue in the face of contrary evidence, is what allows you to truly change your life. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're trying to listen to a particular station, you don't focus on eliminating all the other stations. You simply tune into the frequency you desire. In the same way, you don't need to fight against your current reality or forcefully push away negative thoughts. You simply need to tune yourself to the frequency of what you desire, to align your inner dialogue with the highest vision of yourself and your life. This tuning is done through your conscious choice of inner speech and your ability to feel the reality of these words. Your inner declarations are the dial that allows you to tune into different frequencies of experience. As you use your inner dialogue to declare empowering truths about yourself and your life, as you feel the reality of these declarations, you are tuning yourself to that frequency, allowing the corresponding experiences to flow into your life. But remember, my friends, this is not a one-time event. Saying empowering things in your head is a way of life. It's a constant choice to maintain this inner dialogue, regardless of appearances. Just as you wouldn't expect to stay in shape by exercising once, you cannot expect to change your life by thinking positively once. This is about persistently maintaining an empowering inner dialogue, about living from this consciousness day in and day out until it becomes your new normal. As you do this, you will find that your perception of yourself and your life begins to shift. What once seemed like limitations now appear as opportunities for growth. Challenges become stepping stones to success. You begin to see yourself as the empowered being you truly are, knowing that your inner dialogue is constantly shaping your reality. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, how can I maintain a positive inner dialogue when I face real challenges? How can I say empowering things in my head when my current reality seems to contradict these thoughts? And to this I say, your inner speech infused with feeling and imagination is more powerful than any circumstance. Consider for a moment, have you ever been deeply moved by a story, whether in a book or a movie? In those moments, were you not feeling real emotions based on imaginary events? Your feelings were real, even though the events were not happening in your physical reality. This is the power you must harness when you say things in your head. You must use your imagination to infuse your inner speech with feeling. As you say empowering things in your head, imagine how you would feel if these things were already true in your life. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the sense of fulfillment that would come with these realities. Feel these states as vividly and as consistently as you can as you engage in your inner dialogue. The key is to make your inner speech as real to you as possible. Engage all your senses. As you say things about abundance in your head, feel the sense of security and freedom that comes with abundance. As you declare perfect health in your mind, feel the vitality and energy coursing through your body. As you speak of success internally, see yourself in your mind's eye achieving your goals. Hear the congratulations of others. Feel the sense of accomplishment. Make it real in your mind and heart as you say these things in your head. But here's a crucial point, my friends. The goal is not to say things in your head about specific outcomes. The goal is to say things that align with your essential self, your true identity. For it is this alignment with your true self that is the real attractor of your experiences. Let me illustrate this with an example. Instead of just saying, I am wealthy in your head, align your inner speech with the essence of abundance. Say to yourself, I am one with the source of all abundance. Prosperity flows to me and through me effortlessly. I am worthy of unlimited abundance. Instead of merely thinking I am healthy, align your inner dialogue with the essence of well-being by saying to yourself, I am one with the source of all life. Perfect health is my natural state. My body is a temple of vitality and well-being. By aligning your inner speech with your essential self rather than just external conditions, you allow the universe to bring your desires to you in ways that might far exceed your specific imaginings. You open yourself to possibilities beyond what your current mindset can conceive. This is the true art of saying things in your head and waiting for what happens. It's not about forcing yourself to believe something against all evidence. It's about aligning your inner log with the truth of your mind nature, your oneness with the creative power of the universe. It's about saying things in your head that resonate with the highest vision of who you truly are. As you practice this, you may find that your outer world begins to shift in subtle ways. Perhaps you start to feel more confident and worthy, or you find yourself naturally making healthier choices, or opportunities for abundance seem to appear out of nowhere. These are all signs that your inner shift brought about by your empowering inner dialogue is creating ripples in your outer reality. Don't discount these small changes. Celebrate them. See them as confirmation that the law is working, that your inner speech is taking root. But don't become attached to them or anxiously look for them. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude and continue to say empowering things in your head. As you persist in this practice, larger changes will begin to manifest. You may find yourself naturally attracting more positive experiences. You may notice that your relationships improve, that your health flourishes, that abundance flows more freely into your life. And as you continue to maintain this empowering inner dialogue, you'll discover that life becomes an exciting adventure of ever-expanding good. But remember, the outer manifestation is not the goal. The goal is the state of consciousness from which blessings naturally flow. This is a crucial point, my friends, when you're truly saying empowering things in your head. When you're fully embodying this state, you no longer need external circumstances to confirm your worth or success. You're already whole, already complete in your knowing that you are a divine, limitless being. And paradoxically, it's in this state of inner assurance that you're most likely to experience a life filled with manifest blessings. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't we need to do things in the physical world to change our lives? And to this I say, yes, action is part of the process, but it's inspired action, not anxious doing. When you're consistently saying empowering things in your head, ideas and opportunities will naturally present themselves to you. You'll feel inspired to take certain actions to move in certain directions. These actions won't feel like struggle or effort. They'll feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. This is the difference between trying to make things happen and allowing them to happen. When you're trying to force changes in your life, actions feel stressful, born out of fear and doubt. When you're maintaining an empowering inner dialogue, actions flow naturally from your aligned state, guided by an inner wisdom that knows exactly how to bring about the manifestation of your desires. Consider the example of a flower. A flower doesn't strain to bloom. It doesn't force itself to grow. It simply unfolds naturally, expressing its innate beauty. You, my dear listeners, are no different. When you align your inner dialogue with your true divine nature, you allow your life to unfold naturally and beautifully, expressing the infinite good that is your birthright. But let me be clear, this state of allowing is not passive. It requires an active use of your inner speech, a deliberate and consistent practice of saying empowering things in your head. It requires faith, not blind faith in external circumstances, but faith in the creative power of your thoughts and consciousness. This faith is not about believing that good things will come someday in the future. It's about knowing that you are whole and complete now, in this very moment, and that your inner dialogue is constantly shaping your reality to reflect this empowered state. As you cultivate this faith, as you persist in saying empowering things in your head, you'll begin to see evidence of these empowering thoughts manifesting in your outer world. These signs may start small, an unexpected opportunity, a fortunate coincidence, a sudden insight that changes your perspective. Do not discount these signs, no matter how small they may seem, for they are confirmation that your inner world, shaped by your empowering inner dialogue, is indeed shaping your outer reality. They are breadcrumbs leading you to the full realization of the empowered life you are creating through your thoughts. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to address a common concern that arises when people first encounter this teaching. Many worry that focusing on their inner dialogue and saying empowering things in their head might somehow make them self-centered or disconnected from others. But I assure you, my friends, the opposite is true. When you truly understand the principle of maintaining an empowering inner dialogue, you realize that you are not separate from others. As you elevate your own consciousness through your inner speech, you are elevating the consciousness of all. Your empowering thoughts, far from disconnecting you from others, actually expand the field of possibilities for all. Moreover, when you are coming from a place of inner empowerment, you naturally have more to give to others. You become a channel through which blessings flow, not just to you, but through you to the world. Your inner dialogue creates a ripple effect, touching the lives of everyone you encounter. This is the true gift of saying empowering things in your head and waiting for what happens. It's not just about improving your individual circumstances, although that will happen. It's about aligning yourself with the fundamental nature of the universe, which is boundless good. It's about recognizing your own divine nature and allowing it to express itself fully through you. In this state of alignment, of consistently maintaining and empowering inner dialogue, you become a channel for the most beautiful expressions of life. Ideas flow to you effortlessly. Opportunities present themselves naturally. The right people and circumstances appear in your life at the perfect time. This is the magic of living from a state of empowered thinking. But remember, this magic is not something external to you. It's not some cosmic force that you need to appease or manipulate. It is the natural expression of your own consciousness when it's aligned with the truth of your being. You are the magic. You are the miracle. You are the one to whom you are speaking these empowering words in your head. As we draw our time together to a close, I want to leave you with a final thought. The principle we've explored tonight, say this in your head for a while, wait for what happens, is not just a technique for creating better circumstances. It's about recognizing your true nature as a divine creative being. It's about aligning your inner dialogue with the fundamental truth of being and allowing your grandest expression of life to flow through you. When you live from this understanding, everything changes. The world becomes a friendly place filled with infinite possibilities. You no longer see yourself as a small, separate being struggling against external forces. Instead, you recognize yourself as the creator of your reality, the author of your own life story. In this state, there's no need to beg or plead for good things to come into your life. For you understand that you are the source of all good. Your job is simply to maintain an empowering inner dialogue, to live from this consciousness, and to allow the universe to arrange the details of their manifestation. So, my dear friends, as you leave here tonight, I urge you to embrace this principle with all your heart. Don't see it as a technique to be applied occasionally, but as a way of life to be lived continuously. Use your mighty imagination to infuse your inner speech with feeling. Feel the naturalness of being the empowered being you truly are. Live from this state, persist in this inner dialogue, and watch as your world rearranges itself to match your thoughts. Remember, you are not a helpless being pushed around by external circumstances. You are the operant power in your world. Your inner dialogue, infused with feeling, is the one and only reality. All things are possible to him who believes and declares internally, for belief and inner declaration shape reality. In your journey of saying empowering things in your head and waiting for what happens, let this knowing be your guiding light, leading you unerringly to the realization of your highest potential. Go forth from here with this knowledge. Apply it in your life. Test it. Prove it to yourself. For in doing so, you'll discover the truth of who you really are. You'll tap into the limitless power that has always been within you. And you'll experience the joy, the freedom, the fulfillment that comes from living in alignment with the laws of creation. Start now. Say empowering things in your head. Let these thoughts permeate every aspect of your being. For in truth, you are already that empowered being. You are already living in a reality of infinite good. All you need to do is open your heart. Embrace this truth in your inner dialogue and allow it to express itself more fully in your experience.